This operation, known as Operation Absolute Resolve, was discreet, precise, and conducted during the darkest hours of January 2nd and was the culmination of months of planning and rehearsal. We watched, we waited, we prepared, we remained patient and professional. This mission was meticulously planned, drawing lessons from decades of missions over the last many years, many missions over these last many years. This was an audacious operation that only the United States could do. It required the utmost of precision and integration within our joint force. And the word integration does not explain the sheer complexity of such a mission. An extraction so precise it involved more than 150 aircraft launching across the Western Hemisphere in close coordination, all coming together in time and place to layer effects for a single purpose: to get an interdiction force into downtown Caracas while maintaining the element of tactical surprise. Failure of one component of this well-oiled machine would have endangered the entire mission, and failure is never an option for America's joint force. Those in the air over Caracas last night were willing to give their lives for those on the ground and in the helicopters. Let me talk a little bit about the preparation. After months of work by our intelligence teammates to find Maduro and understand how he moved, where he lived, where he traveled, what he ate, what he wore, what were his pets, in early December, our force was set pending a series of aligned events. Key was choosing the right day to minimize the potential for civilian harm and maximize the element of surprise, and minimize the harm to the indicted personnel so, as the president said, they could be brought to justice.
我们看到的这个军人，这个将军叫凯恩将军，他也是一个传奇式的人物。那这次的战斗之所以这样完美的胜利，它是头号的功臣。不但这次的战斗，而且呢，前一段时间对伊朗的核设施的打击也是凯恩将军的指挥。凯恩将军是这些战斗的总指挥、总策划，他本身呢就是有丰富的战斗经验的。其实这个凯恩将军呢，他是返聘的，他本来已经退休了。退休的时候呢，他是3星上将。那后来川普把他从3星上将擢升为4星上将，而且任命他作为这个联席会议主席，也就是说，在指挥战争上，如果发动战争，他是总指挥。这个海格塞斯是在行政上是战争部长，但是呢，在指挥战争策划上，这个联席会主席凯恩将军他是总负责人。我们看几次的战斗都是这样出色的完成，和这个凯恩将军关系非常的大。凯恩将军他是本身自己有战斗经验，而且呢非常的聪明，而且呢有非常高的整合的这种组织能力。这也是神赐给川普团队的一个非常重要的灵魂性的人物，在指挥战斗方面。我们从凯恩将军的介绍当中，我们可以看见这场战争其实是策划已久的。表面上看只有几个月，从9月份到今年年初4个月的时间，但是之前呢已经有很多年一直在策划，在准备。据说他们为了这场战斗专门建了一个和马杜罗的这个军事碉堡一模一样的这样的一个地方，这些特战队员他们在这里边长期的训练，所以他们能够如此迅速的能够结束战斗，是因为他们对马杜罗这个军事城堡已经非常熟悉了。据说这个军事城堡是导弹都打不破的，这坚固的这个门呢是全钢的，非常的厚，一般的炮弹是打不透的。为了能够打破这个门，他们专门带了一个非常大的这种冲击力的这种迫击炮弹，但是呢没有用上，因为他们行动迅速，在马杜罗还没有打开这个门进入的时候呢，就已经被抓到了。凯恩将军向我们详细的描述了整个战斗的过程 可以说呢非常的精彩。
At 10:46 p.m. Eastern Time last night, the President ordered the United States military to move forward with this mission. He said to us, and we appreciate it, Mr. President, good luck and Godspeed. And those words were transmitted to the entire Joint Force. Over the course of the night, aircraft began launching from 20 different bases on land and sea across the Western Hemisphere. In total, more than 150 aircraft, bombers, fighters, intelligence, reconnaissance, surveillance, rotary wing were in the air last night. Thousands and thousands of hours of experience were airborne. Our youngest crew member was 20, and our oldest crew member was 49, and there's simply no match for American military might. As the night began, the helicopters took off with the extraction force, which included law enforcement officers, and began their flight into Venezuela at 100 feet above the water. As they approached Venezuelan shores, the United States began layering different effects provided by Spacecom, Cybercom, and other members of the interagency to create a pathway. Overhead, those forces were protected by aircraft from the United States Marines, the United States Navy, the United States Air Force, and the Air National Guard. As the force crossed the last point of high terrain where they'd been hiding in the clutter, we assessed that we had maintained totally the element of surprise. As the helicopter force ingressed towards the objective at low level, we arrived at Maduro's compound at 1:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 2:01 a.m. Caracas local time, and the apprehension force descended into Maduro's compound and moved with speed, precision, and discipline towards their objective, and isolated the area to ensure the safety and security of the ground force while apprehending the indicted persons. On arrival into the target area, the helicopters came under fire, and they replied with that fire with overwhelming force in self-defense. One of our aircraft was hit but remained flyable, and as the President said earlier today, all of our aircraft came home, and that aircraft remained flyable during the rest of the mission. Maduro and his wife, both indicted, gave up and were taken into custody by the Department of Justice, assisted by our incredible U.S. military with professionalism and precision, with no loss of U.S. life. After securing the indicted persons, the force began to prep for departure. Helicopters were called in to exfiltrate the extraction force, while fighter aircraft and remotely piloted aircraft provided overhead coverage and suppressive fire. There were multiple self-defense engagements as the force began to withdraw out of Venezuela. The force successfully exfiltrated and returned to their afloat launch bases, and the force was over the water at 3:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with indicted persons on board, and both Maduro and his wife were embarked aboard the USS Iwo Jima.
凯恩将军说，这次的战争是汇集了美国的所有的兵种、所有的部门，是一个高度密切配合的一场战斗。美国动用了150多架飞机，海陆空三军一起上阵，是一个密切分工配合的、设计完美的一场战争。这次战争呢，充分展现了美国军队这种现代战争这种理念，各军种密切配合、协调动作，各司其职，密切配合。现代的战争就是这样的一种需要不同的兵种密切配合的战斗，是一个复杂的系统的工程。这里边的技术含量相当的高，非常的复杂，需要精密的计算，不只是人的策划、人的大脑的决定，这里边含有着非常多的高科技的元素。当然，人的智慧是灵魂性的。凯恩将军这里边也提到了这场战争的另外一个非常重要的因素，就是情报。他这里边提到了几个部门 CIA 就是提供的这些的情报。据说马杜罗他身边的人有很多美国的内线，也就是说马杜罗几个月以来的行踪 都是完全的掌控的。
And as the president said earlier today, weather in Venezuela is always a factor this time of the year. And over the weeks through Christmas and New Year's, the men and women of the United States military sat ready, patiently waiting for the right triggers to be met and the president to order us into action.
凯恩将军说，他们一直在等一个天气，因为天气的因素也是非常重要的。大家可以想一想，如果必须等到一个好的天气，那也就是说他们无法预先知道什么时候发动这场战争。那也就是说这场战争是随机的，天气好了就要发动。但是呢，这个时候如果他们没有足够的这个情报的来源，不知道马杜罗的位置，那就根本就无法想象的。所以呢，他们这个情报的来源是全天候的，随时掌握，随时了解。我们看川普他在夜里边10点多的时候发出了总攻的命令，求神保守他的军队，开始行动。
The force included F-22s, F-35s, F-18s, EA-18s, E-2s, B-1 bombers, and other support aircraft, as well as numerous remotely piloted drones. As the force began to approach Caracas, the Joint Air Component began dismantling and disabling the air defense systems in Venezuela, employing weapons to ensure the safe passage of the helicopters into the target area.
我们看到海恩将军提到的这次参加战斗的这些的不同的战斗机，有最先进的 F-35，还有这个轰炸机。最重要的，我们看到有一个预警机。那这个预警机呢，我们也叫侦察机，这是美国战争当中非常非常重要的一个决定胜负的一个关键。这个预警机里边有非常重要的设备，就是来干扰、来摧毁防守一方的这个雷达防御系统。我们看到凯恩将军说，他们的直升机是在海面上低空行驶了很长距离的。低空有多低呢？就是100英尺，也就是30米高度。在这样的高度，长途的来驾驶，需要这个非常精准的、非常高超的驾驶技术，这样呢才能够躲避他们雷达的搜索。那这次行动呢，包括海军、空军、陆军，还有这个国民警卫队，所有的美国的军种都参与了。还有更重要的就是，这次是一次执法的行动，就是按照美国的法律，他们是在抓捕这个罪犯。
As the operation unfolded at the compound, our air and ground intelligence teams provided real-time updates to the ground force, ensuring those forces could safely navigate the complex environment without unnecessary risk. The goal of our air component is, was, and always will be to protect the helicopters and the ground force and get them to the target and get them home.
那之所以要动用这么多的军队，其实呢，最重要的任务，就像凯恩将军讲的，他们第一的、最看重的就是他们的军人的生命。真正执行抓捕的就是三角洲的这些特战队员，他们是乘坐直升机从上边降落，但是呢，整个这个过程是被多方位，从天空到地面多方位的保护他们。所以要动用这么多的这种力量，就是一个保护。之所以他们能够顺利的能够完成，和多方的策应、支持、保护分不开的。在整个这个过程当中，并不是委内瑞拉这一方面没有任何的反击。委内瑞拉有20多万的正规军，这是一个在这个地区最强大的一个军事力量。他们不但有军队，而且他们也有非常先进的武器，他们一定会反抗的。但是呢，我们看到整个的过程当中，美国一方呢没有1个人伤亡，在美国这一方面呢，只有个别人受了一点点轻伤，没有损失一兵一卒。但是呢，委内瑞拉这一方面呢， 很多的这个守卫是被打死的，他们一定会反抗的。我们也看到双方的这种战斗力的悬殊，这个战斗力的悬殊不只是说美国的武器更好，当然美国的武器是最好的，但是更重要的不是这种表面上的这种武器装备，而是技术，还有就是配合。不知道大家还记得不记得，在早些时候，美国的战斗机、美国的轰炸机，他们进入伊朗的领空的时候，如入无人之境。为什么他们能够这样顺利？现代的战争最重要的、最核心的就是技术，而这个技术当中最重要的就是防空体系、防御体系和进攻之间的这种强弱的对比。美国军队、美国飞机之所以能够如入无人之境，就在于他们在进入之前已经完全的摧毁了对方的防御体系，就是他们的雷达。如果没有摧毁的话，他们都有防空导弹的，他们一定会发射。但是呢，美国在进攻之前已经完全的摧毁了他们的雷达防御体系。据说在委内瑞拉，他们的防御体系呢是由俄罗斯和中共两国提供的，而且呢都是当今最先进的这些的设备。包括伊朗里边呢也是用的中国的这些雷达的防御体系。但是呢，我们看到在美国的预警机的干扰之下呢，完全失去作用。从这些也让我们看到中国的这些军事设备的技术含量和美国的相比不在一个层级上。那中国一直在吹嘘自己的技术多么强大，战斗力多么强，可是在美国的强大的军队面前呢，可以说不堪一击。凯恩将军说，他们的强大的火力把对方完全的压制，让他们的这些特战队员顺利的把马杜罗抓捕。整个过程持续了差不多2个小时，就完全的结束。